Martha, good to see you. These text messages obtained by Fox show that Senator Mark Warner, a Democrat, as you say, who's been leading one of several probes of President Trump's ties to Russia, had extensive contact last year with the lobbyist for a Russian oligarch who offered him access, yes, to Christopher Steele. Now, Warner texted he would, quote, rather not have a paper trail in case he could not seal an agreement with the former British spy. Steele has still not agreed to an interview with the panel. Warner began texting with the lobbyist, Adam Waldman, in February 2017 about brokering a deal with the Justice Department to get the WikiLeaks founder, Julian Assange, to the U.S. to potentially face criminal charges. That went nowhere, though Warner's office tells me he turned over whatever information he got to the FBI in that matter. Warner and Waldman also exchanged dozens of texts about possible testimony from Waldman's primary client, the Russian billionaire Oleg Deripaska, who had his visa revoked by the State Department in 2006 because of charges he has organized crime ties, which he denies. Warner was intent on connecting directly with Christopher Steele without anyone else being in the loop, at least initially. An aide to the Republican chairman, Senator Richard Burr, now tells Fox he was aware of the contact that Warner made, but added, quote, I don't believe he was aware, Burr, of the content of these text messages that Fox is getting. Quote, we have so much to discuss, you need to be careful, Warner texted, but we can help our country. He sent that to Waldman last March 22nd. I'm in, texted Waldman, whose firm has ties, yes, to Hillary Clinton. Now, secrecy seemed important to Warner on March 29th, when the lobbyist revealed that Christopher Steele wanted a bipartisan letter from Warner and Burr. Quote, hey, Warner texted, can't we do brief off-the-record call today before the letter so I can frame letter? That's what Warner texted about Steele, who, of course, put together, as you said, the dossier. Warner added, quote, okay, but I would like to do a preliminary call, you, me, and him, meaning Steele, no one else, before the letter, just so we have to trail to start. Want to discuss scope first, before letter, no leaks. Waldman noted repeatedly Steele was concerned about leaks, so Warner texted back March 30th, quote, we want to do this right, private in London, don't want to send letter yet, because if we can't get agreement, would rather not have paper trail. Now, the committee got the text from Waldman, I'm told, last September, and a Warner aide acknowledged that Warner and Burr revealed these texts to their colleagues quietly last October because, quote, they realized out of context it doesn't look great. But aides to Warner and Burr stressed to me today that Chairman Mr. Burr was in the loop. The senators just gave us this joint statement, quote, from the beginning of our investigation, we have taken each step in a bipartisan way, and we intend to continue to do so. Leaks of incomplete information out of context by anyone, inside or outside our committee, are unacceptable. The Senate Intelligence Committee has been in possession of this material for several months. The full committee has had access to the material and been briefed on its content, and committee investigators have pursued all relevant investigative leads related to this material. We wanted to give that full statement. Now, Waldman, who did not return calls today seeking comment, runs Endeavor Group. He signed a $40,000 a month retainer in 2009 and 2010 to petition the U.S. government on behalf of that Russian billionaire, Deripaska. There are reports that Deripaska, who sued Paul Manafort over a failed business deal, has information to share with the U.S. Congress. But last May, both the Senate and House Intel panels decided not to give Deripaska legal immunity. So far, he has not testified, Martha.
I mean, it's clearly of interest that this Oleg Deripaska has links to both Paul Manafort and then also to this this lobbyist who has done work for the Clintons. And, you know, it's potentially at least a string to follow up on that the Russians perhaps were trying to lay groundwork on both sides of the fence here.
No doubt about it. And look, the Washington Post reported last year that the special counsel, Robert Mueller, is interested in the fact that there are other emails from Paul Manafort promising this Russian oligarch inside access to the Trump campaign. I can give you information before anyone else has it. Nobody knows whether that ever really happened. Clearly, Manafort was trying to wield influence. The committee, still wants to talk to Manafort more. They want to talk to the oligarch. They haven't gotten that testimony. But the bottom line is, Democrats have spent a lot of time talking about the president's ties to Russians, what kind of conversations he and his aides have had. Now these text messages that I got from a Republican source close to the committee is clearly an attempt by Republicans to say, hang on a second, the top Democrat on this committee also had some questionable conversations about trying to keep some of this secret. And again, I want to stress, Warner's office is